Most people live their entire lives and never step into their purpose. They feel it, they dream about it, they desire it, they even pray for it. But when it's time to start, something stops them. Today, we are going to dissect that something, because the truth is, purpose is not hidden. People are simply unprepared for the version of themselves required to walk in it. And until you understand why you haven't started, you'll keep postponing the life God planned for you. Today, I want us to take a deep journey into psychology, spirituality, conditioning, identity, survival, and human behavior. This may be one of the most important videos you will ever watch on purpose. Let's go find out. Let's start with the truth that is not often said out loud, and it is an uncomfortable truth. We were not raised to live purposefully. We were raised to survive. From childhood, we were taught to follow the rules. We were taught to play it safe. We were taught to avoid risk. We were taught to get a good job. We were taught to make our parents proud. We were taught to fit into society's checklist. No one taught us how to listen to our inner voice, how to build an identity, how to discover purpose, how to cultivate calling, how to expand our potential, how to design our destiny, and how to be intentional. So what did we do as adults? We live on autopilot and not on purpose. And autopilot is a powerful trap. It keeps you comfortable enough to stay alive, but not challenged enough to live intentionally. And this is the very first reason most people never start their purpose journey. Most people weren't raised to discover purpose. They were raised to survive. And survival kills calling. Now, we are going to discuss the 10 barriers that keep people from starting their purpose journey. The very first barrier is the fear of visibility. You cannot impact lives quietly in the background. Purpose requires visibility. Unfortunately, many people are terrified of judgment, opinions, criticism, being misunderstood, being called too much, family members watching, friends talking, strangers analyzing them. So what do? They capitulate and hide. But listen, purpose will demand you to be seen. If you cannot handle visibility, you will most likely struggle to handle destiny. This particular barrier is one I struggle with myself. I am one that likes to be behind the scenes. I don't always like to be in the spotlight. I don't always want to show my face on the internet. I don't sometimes like to speak up. I just want people to have the floor. Every other person can have the spotlight. Every other person can have the floor. Every other person can do them. And let me just be behind the scenes, chilling. But unfortunately, purpose demands the exact opposite. You cannot impact lives, like I said in the beginning, behind the scenes. Your voice needs to be heard. You need a tribe. You need to speak up so people can relate and resonate with you. So now I have to become the person the future version of me requires, or the purposeful version of me requires. And this is what I discussed in the previous video. So if you have not seen the last video before this, when you're done watching this one, you should actually go back to watch that. The second barrier is identity confusion. Many people know what to do, but they don't believe they are the person that can do it. They say things like, I am not good enough. Who am I to talk about this? I am not ready for this. I am not that kind of a person. Most of these things we often say to ourselves, but they are wrong. Purpose builds you as you build it. You don't need a perfect identity to build purpose. you need a starting identity. This I realized late myself. I was waiting to be picture perfect. I was waiting to be ready. I was waiting to be that kind of a person. I was waiting to have all the facts and figures to speak on a particular topic or a particular subject. I was waiting to be qualified according to my standards. But I did not realize that God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So if you are in the identity confusion stage, this is your wake-up call. Stop waiting to have it all figured out. Stop waiting to be ready. You will most likely not be ready. But when you start your purpose journey, then you will realize you didn't have to wait that long to start. The third barrier is mental overload and life noise. The noise in and around us is so loud that if you are not careful, you will get drowned or lost in it. The reason why many people struggle to hear God is because they are too distracted. They are overworked. They are overwhelmed. They are overstimulated. They are overthinking, and sometimes they are over scrolling. All this won't help you start your purpose journey because purpose requires stillness, reflection, and silence. It's quite unfortunate that most people actually fear stillness. They can't stay in silence for too long because it exposes the truth. And because the truth stings, most people avoid it. The fourth barrier is the comfort of familiarity. Everything great in life will require leaving something familiar to something unfamiliar. But it's quite unfortunate that our brain has been programmed for survival and not for success. So it prefers what is known and what is predictable. One thing I can tell you for free is purpose requires discomfort. It requires movement from where you are now to where you need to be. It requires transitions, and transitions can be very tough sometimes. It's not as glamorous as it sounds in any way. And most people prefer the comfort of a familiar cage to the uncertainty of an open field. So they will rather remain in comfort than put themselves through any form of discomfort. The fifth barrier is waiting for perfect clarity. Most people think purpose is a moment of revelation, but it is actually a process. This I did not realize on time myself until I started my purpose journey. Purpose reveals itself progressively, not instantly. And the truth is, nobody starts with clarity. Absolutely no one. Clarity comes from starting. The moment you take the first step, then the path unfolds as you go along. Many people ask, what is my purpose? But I don't think that is the real question. I think the real question is, are you moving in the direction of the pull in your spirit? Do you trust the inner voice leading you or the outer voice controlling you? I'll leave you to ponder on that. The sixth barrier is the fear of making the wrong decision. People fear choosing the wrong path, so they choose nothing, which is way more worse than choosing the wrong path. The truth is, purpose becomes clearer by walking and not by waiting. Your steps refine your direction and not the other way around. And you have to note this: there is no such thing as a wasted move when your intention is aligned with growth. Motion beats stagnation every single time. So instead of being scared of choosing the wrong path or making the wrong decisions and waiting, take the next step forward and move. I promise you, the path will unfold right in front of you and clarity will follow. The seventh barrier is the scarcity mindset. Many people often say, who will listen to me? There are so many people doing this already, so what's the point? And think they are not as good as them, so they don't see the need for it. I'm saying this because I said it too. I was like, who will watch me or even listen to me? What do I even have to say? But I was wrong, because purpose is allocation and not competition. God is not an author of confusion. Your voice as a tribe, your gift as a frequency, your story as a signature, your calling as an audience. No one can replace you. No one has lived your life, and no one can tell your story like you, which means no one can replicate you. God planted an aspect of his creativity in all of us, but not the exact same thing in all of us. The eighth barrier is childhood conditioning. Many people were raised with mockery, shame, criticism, rejection, invalidation, and emotional neglect. My ideas don't matter. I am not capable. I am not smart enough. All they believe and think about is their less than-ness. They celebrate the gift in other people and condemn their own gift. They zoom in on their flaws and zoom out on other people's flaws. They say things like, if only I have what this person has, then I would do better. This conditioning is not helpful in any way, because purpose requires healing and acceptance. Not because you are broken, but because your potential needs space to breathe. The ninth barrier is the addiction to figuring out life first. You hear people say things like, I'll start my purpose after I make more money, I have more time, I get stable, I figure things out, I feel ready. They just think they have to figure things out first before stepping into purpose. But one thing I have realized is adulthood has no intermission. You can't pause life for a second, and no season in life comes with perfect conditions. You just have to make every condition suitable for you and make the most out of every condition. Most times, purpose thrives in chaos, not in comfort. So waiting to have the perfect conditions, or waiting for the comfortable zone, or waiting for the comfortable era might just be you procrastinating. The 10th barrier is lack of structure. Purpose requires structure, and that is routines, systems, planning, focus, organization, and discipline. Most people don't lack purpose. They just lack structure to sustain purpose. A disorganized life cannot handle divine calling. Now, let's look at the psychology of purpose procrastination. We are going deeper into the psychology behind not starting. The first reason why most people procrastinate purpose is because the brain protects you from the unknown. Your brain was designed for survival and not for success. It is out to protect you and not to help you fulfill destiny. So it will resist anything unfamiliar, even if that unfamiliar thing is your future. It will always trigger a stop alarm when you step into the unknown. And most times, people listen to this sound and stop. And this is why many people procrastinate purpose. The second reason is the ego hates transformation. Your ego believes this is who I have always been. So it's either you take it or leave it. But transformation says you have to evolve into who you need to be. A higher version of you is waiting to be unlocked. This clash right here is a brutal one, because transformation requires you to create a new model and make your existing model obsolete, while your ego doesn't want you to create a new model. So it helps you, or it tries to make the current model the only model you have. The third reason why people procrastinate purpose is because purpose demands death before rebirth. This I wasn't informed myself. You have to be ready for the funeral of your old self. The death process is real. You must shed old habits, old friendships, old beliefs, old identity, and old mindsets. And the painful part is, it is non-negotiable. It is part of the process. If you don't want to go through this death process, then you are not ready to start your purpose journey. The fourth reason why people procrastinate purpose is because purpose feels too big. Purpose often feels bigger than who you think you are. And that is why you have to rise to the occasion. But instead of rising to meet it, people shrink to avoid it. Because rising comes with a cost and shrinking costs nothing. So they will rather pay nothing and procrastinate their purpose journey. The fifth reason why people procrastinate purpose is the fear of losing their old life. Unfortunately, you just have to give it up. But one thing I realized is God never takes anything without upgrading you. The upgrade might not be instantaneous, but it will eventually happen. I know giving up your old life might not feel good in the moment, but eventually you will be thankful you did. Now, let's look at the journey to starting your purpose. There are 5 phases to starting your purpose journey. The first phase is awakening. Something inside you whispers, there is more. I am made for more. This whisper is not random. It's an invitation. What awakening does for you is to help you recognize that you are not comfortable anymore where you used to be comfortable. The second phase is separation. Purpose will pull you from certain environments, certain relationships, certain habits, and certain routines. What you should note is this separation is not punishment. It's actually preparation. The third phase is identity breakthrough. This is when you realize I cannot become the future me with the past me. This helps you to shed the version of yourself that cannot enter destiny. So if you want to learn more about this identity breakthrough, go watch the previous video before this one. It will actually help you understand what identity breakthrough really means. The fourth phase is obedience before understanding. Many people want to understand before they obey, but God will often tell you start with no explanation, no clarity, no step-by-step guide, because purpose requires obedience before understanding. The fifth phase is movement. This is where everything changes. You start creating, you start building, you start learning, you start talking, you start showing up, you start serving, and most importantly, you start growing. Movement is essential because it helps you to activate purpose. And purpose does not begin with clarity, it begins with movement. Clarity is a reward and not a prerequisite. If you take nothing from this entire message, please take this. Your purpose journey is waiting on one thing: the decision to begin. Not next year, not when you are ready, not when you know everything, but now. Your destiny is calling, your assignment is calling, your tribe is calling, your next level is calling. And the only question left is, when will you answer? What is the one thing holding you back from starting? And what is the first step you will take today, not tomorrow? Leave your answers in the comment section. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more. Don't forget to stay intentional with your actions, and I will see you in the next video.